Brothers and sisters, I know that you all are waiting to be teleported to Prashanti, so I'm going to let that happen very soon. Please make sure you've got your passports and your visas ready because that plane's about to take off very, very soon. But in the meanwhile, I would like to invite our national president, Brother Suresh Nundlal, to please come forward and address us.
Offering my humble pranams and salutations at the lotus feet of our beloved Master, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Respected elders present here today, our zone chair, Uncle Subri, our deputy president of the Sri Satya Sai Global Council, Sister Prisla Naidu, the chairman of Central Trust, Brother Krishan, the trustees present here today, all regional presidents, all national officers, Om Shri Sai Ram to each and every one of you. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm sure those of you that have watched this program thus far will agree that it's been energizing, it's been amazing. So I'm sure if I ask you to say Om Shri Sai Ram again, we can do much better. Om Shri Sai Ram, everyone. Much better, much better. Dear brothers and sisters, while walking into this building this evening, and I'm sure those of you that were with me in Prashanti Nilayam for the pilgrimage in July will definitely agree. This reminds me of when we walked into the Sai Hira Convention Center. The energy was so beautiful in there, everything in that building was so amazing. You could feel Swami's energy. And walking in here today, it's good to know that right here in Phoenix, that this Educare Center emulates that same divine love and divine energy that was felt in Prashanti Nilayam at the Sai Hira Global Convention Center. I will be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge our past regional president, Brother Shan Hanuman. And you know, it was such a fitting tribute earlier. And Sister Prisla will agree with me, in the last couple of years that we've engaged with Brother Shan, he was such a humble soul, such an amazing soul. And he was ever committed to Swami's organization. And while we're celebrating the life of this Educare Center, instead of sharing a moment of silence, let us put our hands together once again and clap and acknowledge him for everything that he's done. I also want to take this opportunity, and once again we're going to put our hands together in applause, to thank each and every individual that has been part and parcel of the process of the construction of this Educare building. From the first phase to here, even if you just picked up one brick, and this reminds me of a story, dear brothers and sisters, which we all know. And it was such a beautiful story because why? It touched and it melted God's heart. And all of us know the story quite well, where there was a student who saved all his money. Instead of taking it to the Dhobi to wash his clothes, right? He saved 100 rupees. And that 100 rupees was offered to Bhagwan in a letter for the super speciality hospital when they were building it. What did Bhagwan do? Bhagwan took that letter and he started shaking it around everywhere and saying, see this, see this, see this. That 100 rupees was worth more, it was priceless. Why? Because the purity of heart and the devotion of that student melted Bhagwan's heart completely. So what can we learn from this, dear brothers and sisters? Doesn't matter what background you come from, your purity of heart, offering something to Swami selflessly, with full faith and devotion, will melt the Lord's heart. And this is the fruit and example of what has happened here today. I would like to take this opportunity once again and ask each one of you to join me in applause to thank each devotee that has been part of the construction and making this building possible from the inception till now. Nothing is possible without the Lord, and we have our gratitude to Him for making this. I know I'm cutting into the gratitude session, but I think it was only fitting and right that I mentioned this. Dear brothers and sisters, we are celebrating the 98th Advent. Started on Thursday. I think it started way before that with the preparations around the entire country, around the entire world. Devotees from all walks of life have come together in the spirit of unity, together in the spirit of love, the love for our Lord and what He has done in our life. And I'm sure each and every one of you seated here today has been touched in some kind of way by the Lord. The Lord has saved you, has come to your rescue, has done something for you in your life. And we offer our gratitude to Swami. But most importantly, Swami says that this day is not my birthday. The day that divinity blossoms within us, that is truly my birthday. So if there's one message we can take away from here, is when we transform, we go within and we transform and we find that divine being within us. That is the greatest gift we can give Swami. On many occasions, Swami has mentioned, what is this birthday? And he ended off with saying one thing. He says, it's not my birthday, it's not happy birthday. The most important thing we can do is happy you, happy me. So if you are happy, Swami is happy. This is very, very important, and we can take that message away from here, dear brothers and sisters. We'll be making Swami pleased, we'll be making him happy. I want to share a couple of stories. There was once this renowned king, and he called a group of his Vedic scholars together in an audience. And when he addressed them, he asked them, here are the scholars who have mastered the scriptures. Who is capable? All of you all have mastered the scriptures. But who from all of you are capable of attaining moksha? When he asked this question, there was dead silence. Everyone was silent. None of those Vedic priests, those scholars who know all the scriptures in and out, could say anything. Out of the audience, there was this layman, and he came up and he said, dear sir, I think I can possibly attain moksha, liberation. Everyone, all these Vedic scholars in this room were shocked. They were shocked because this is just a layman. He doesn't know Vedic scriptures, he doesn't know anything, but yet he comes up in the front and he says, I can possibly attain liberation. So the king turned to him and asked him, dear sir, you don't know any scholar, you don't know any Vedic scriptures, you don't know any literature. So how is it that you can attain liberation? Please tell us all. And in that audience, all these priests that were there started getting a bit ruffled and upset. And he said, and I'll quote the words, Nenu pote povachunu. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And the king asked him, what do you mean by this? And he says, I mean no offense to any of these scholars here, but this means that when you remove the I, you will attain liberation. So this is a very important message, dear brothers and sisters. The aham that's present in us, the ego factor, right? When we say we do this, we do that, and this and that, and whatever the case is, immediately Swami says, where there's ego, he goes. So we must always be humble in everything that we do. We must be full of humility in everything that we do and offer everything to Swami, because he is the doer, we are just instruments. We are not the doer, he is the doer. So let us remember this potent story and the powerful message about ego that comes out. Swami's name is Satya. What does Satya mean? It means truth. And I want to touch on truth today, dear brothers and sisters, because truth is the foundation of this organization. Everything that we do, we must stick to truth. We cannot deviate from truth in anything that we do. When we say something, we must do it. Be, do, see, and tell. We mustn't deviate from the truth, because once we deviate from the truth, we are not pleasing Swami. So in everything that we do, always speak the truth, always stand up for dharma, always stand up for righteousness. Because when we stand up for dharma and righteousness, Swami himself will be there to protect us. So in any situation that you're faced with in life, always stand for what is right. And how do we best measure this? Swami says, and I've mentioned this before, it comes down to your character. What is this character? It's who you are when no one is looking. This is the most important thing, dear brothers and sisters. Character. Be truthful, be honest, and serve the Lord with humility. That is the most important thing. I'd like to end up with a short story. Once, Sage Narada was fortunate to be in the presence of the Lord. And the Lord asked him a question, and he mentioned, the Lord asked him, Sage, with all your travels across the universe, across the world, I'm sure you know the secrets of the universe, the mysteries of the universe. And he asked him, of all the elements like, fire, water, air, ether, which is the greatest element of all? And Sage Narada thought about it, and he said, Lord, it's definitely the earth. So the Lord asked him, okay, why the earth? And he mentioned the earth is so big, it's humongous. Then the Lord asked him, and he tricked him into a question, and he said, the Lord asked him, but if you look at the earth is 3/4 water and 1/4 land. So you're telling me the earth is bigger and greater than the element of water? So Sage Narada thought about it, and he said, no, you're right, Swami, you're 100% right. Water is definitely greater. Water is the greatest thing, greater than all the other elements. So the Lord asked him again, okay. But then how was it that the demons, if the water is so great, that demons were able to hide in this water? And the Lord said, Narada said, you're right, Swami, you're right. There was a sage that actually came onto earth, and in one gulp drank all this water, and in doing that, all the demons were consumed as well. And the Lord asked him, so who is greater? And then Narada said, no, the sage, definitely the sage, definitely the sage. So the Lord was like, questioning him over and over and over again. So the Lord asked him, okay. But eventually that sage left his physical body and he became one with the heavens. So he became a star in the sky. A small star in the big, vast sky. So isn't the sky bigger? Isn't the cosmos in the top bigger? And the Lord Narada thought again and he said, yes, definitely. Definitely, the sky is definitely bigger. Then the sage, the Lord Swami again caught him out and he asked him, but there was an avatar, the dwarf avatar, who managed to put one leg on the earth and the sky to defeat the demons. Isn't he greater? And the Lord Narada thought about it and he said, yes, definitely. Swami, you are definitely greater. And that was his conclusion. He said, definitely, the avatar is the greatest. Then the Lord proposed him one more question. But Narada, what about my devotees? What about devotees? The devotee has the Lord locked in his heart, not the Lord locking the devotees. Isn't the devotee the greatest? And the Lord thought about it, Sage Narada thought about it, and he said, you're 100% right. The devotee is the greatest. So dear brothers and sisters, what is the message here? Each one of you seated here today are near and dear to the Lord. You are here today. You have been celebrating Swami's birthday. Some of you are very senior members, have been in this organization for a very, very long time. You are here serving the Lord selflessly because of your love. I'm the national president doesn't mean anything. The foundation of this organization is you as a devotee. Without the devotee, without the center, no other structure is possible. The organization is not possible. So dear brothers and sisters, Swami says, and I want to leave you with this final quote. What can we take away from this, from today? And Swami says that we must look upon all with as much love and faith as one has for themselves. For nothing is evil in creation, not even an iota. Creation, which is always auspicious, gets colored by the nature of the glasses we wear. What profit does one get by spending time in discovering the faults and weaknesses of others? Thus, the first spiritual practice is to search for the faults and weaknesses within yourself and to strive to correct them and become perfect. There are two methods for cultivating such divine, which is the true birthday message of Bhagavan today. Number one, always consider faults of others, however big, to be insignificant and negligible. Always consider your own faults, however insignificant and negligible, to be big, and feel sad and repentant. Number two, whatever you do with yourself or with others, do it remembering that God is omnipresent. He sees and hears and knows everything. Whatever you do, discriminate between right and wrong and do only the right. That is character. So dear brothers and sisters, on this 98th Advent Day, let us take at least one message and put it into practice. And Swami clearly says, an ounce of cow's milk is better than a barrel of donkey's milk. Okay? So always remember that we are the chosen instruments of Sai. You are seated here because Bhagavan has made it possible. You are a devotee chosen over many birds to be here when the Lord has taken incarnation, because it's His grace and it's your grace to be here. So let us remember this and let us take one message from here today and put into practice into our day-to-day lives. To end off, Swami always says at the end of his discourse, be happy, be happy, be happy. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Suresh.